Hi, and welcome to a 10-minute coffee break. I am comedian Allison Moore, and my partner here,
Jim Franklin.
Today's episode is all about allyship. But allyship is partnering, and we are talking about building productive networks. All up in it. Some good stuff, y'all. Okay, so Jim, I'm really excited about because this is what we're growing in allyship. You and I, we're doing this partnership together. And I really want to talk about, honestly, what is allyship for real? Because I think people just kind of, here we go again. But what is it? And why we really need to do it more than just because it's the right thing to do.
You know, that's an interesting thing because when we first started talking about this, the first thing we said was allyship. Some corporate guy came up with that, you know. But the reality of it is that it makes so much sense when you talk about it. And you and I have an ally relationship, which makes it allyship between the two of us. But it's very unique. And I don't think when we started out, we knew it was unique at all. I think we thought, well, it just happens and we're there and we're working at it. But I think what's interesting is the relationship between being an ally versus being a colleague, you know, just somebody in the workplace that you have to get along, and being a partner. I think allies are really more like partners, and that relationship is kind of important. So I'd be interested in your thought about us because, you know, my background takes me to this in a different place than yours does. So,
for me, I keep coming around to, well, not now because we've moved through this, but especially in the beginning, let's say 2-3 years ago when we first met, and I'm like, he seems like he's doing the work of an ally, right? Wink, wink. But I just couldn't get past my own stuff with figuring out how I could receive you as an ally or trust you as an ally. But for me, and I know we're going to spend some time talking about that, but to get to that, I really just wanted to know why. You know, it's just that underlying question. When we show up somewhere, people are like, how do they get together? And oftentimes, you know, people may whisper it to me like, well, what does he want? What does he get out of it, you know? And I needed to hear that even in our relationship too. Like, what's in it for you to be an ally? Because it feels, as the minority, it feels like you don't have anything to gain or lose the same way that I do.
Oh, but you know, to me, being your ally is now easy. And when it started out, it was probably easier for me than you because I could trust you. I'm the older guy, that kind of stuff. And my background leads me to kind of trust people and not have that antitrust sort of bias. But I think what you're getting at is something different. And that is, if you're truly an ally, like I feel like you and I are allies, the allyship comes from not really needing to get anything from it except what we both get. And that's that partnership relationship. So let me give you an example. You know, when you and I first met, it was in class. I'm teaching, I don't even remember what it was, but you know, something about entrepreneurial.
I should probably remember myself. I feel like I'm not a great student.
But the interesting thing to me was that you interacted with me at a level that was a peer, and nobody else in the room was. And so I found that by interacting with you, what I got out of it was a lot of the minority people in the room started listening in a different way. So what I get out of it is that my allyship with you grows into a network. It's more and more people, and more interesting people, and more people that can contribute to what you and I are trying to do. So that's what's in it for me. It's more and more people that have some trust in each other, and those group relationships turn into something valuable in our world, in our business world.
That's really good because I just want to get past the fact that you hope that everybody is, you know, they're good people, right? And people are like, well, it's just time that we have more diversity. But the truth is, you know, we're asking, that's like some hard stuff that is unrealistic to set as the reason why people should make these moves or these strives toward creating these diverse and inclusive environments and have these partnerships. But what you just shared was like really very clear. your relationship with me opened you up to a whole new network of people, of opportunities, of experiences, and you can take out of that whatever you want. And the same with me. I know that my relationship with you has opened me up to opportunities, but differently than what I've expected, right? So, of course, there is the clear, unfortunately, we've been able to see how just even in doing business, meetings sometimes play out a little bit differently when you're there than when you're not. But then some of the stuff inside of my heart that has happened, some of that maturity, the leadership qualities that I've been able to get as a result of the relationship with you and allowing you to ally, for me, it's been pretty cool. So, like, if you had to just explain if we had to put it on social media,
okay,
the definition
Here we go.
Your favorite place to be. And so and I love how we have these different generations, because that's interesting too, social media. But like, how would you post as an ally? Like, what would be your social position if you were on social media as the ally? How would you put that out?
It's more give and less take. It is more about what you bring to the relationship as an ally than it is about what you get from it. And what happens is you're rewarded if both people in an ally's relationship, if both people are giving, if they're not afraid to promote what they're doing, then what you find is that you get a lot out of it. You get better at what you're trying to do. That's the thing. And at the corporate level, the value of allies in the corporate workplace, or allies in partnership, or allies in diversity, and when you start bringing different kinds of people together, the reward for it is 4 or 5-fold what you put out. And the reason is that these interesting relationships end up producing some unbelievable results.
Right.
Like you and I think, I would bet, we have the most popular entrepreneurial set of workshops maybe on the East Coast. And it is in large part because we're different, but we reached out to a minority community and brought it into the majority community. And it all works together. So I think that that's the exciting part. And it has business play, but it also has a lot of social play.
Yeah.
So that's a long way for social media, but in 120 characters or whatever, I would say that being an ally is like being a partner, but a partner that gets more out of it without trying.
Yeah.
And puts more into it by trying.
Right.
So
that's good. So that would be the verb. I mean, allyship is the verb. It is encompassing that whole partnership. It's understanding the benefits of partnership.
Sure.
Which is pretty cool. So you put me on the spot on our last conversation about our action items.
Yeah.
What you're not gonna do.
We're there.
Come on, are you ready? So this is what I was thinking about. Like, because we're talking about, we have these conversations and then we want to encourage, our friends and those who are watching to literally do something, right?
Yeah.
So for me, one of the things that you did for me as an ally that I tremendously appreciated was you made sure that I was not kicked out of a room.
Right.
So I think that could be an action item for those who have that opportunity. So specifically, we had a meeting, and then they really wanted you, and then they started to just send you the emails, and you put me back on the email. You didn't allow me to be removed.
So the call to action is to find diversity, look for it, but then be inclusive.
Okay.
Make sure it's inclusive. That's the definition of allies, is that I've got your back, but more than having your back, I'm going to promote you.
Wait, this
and
is
you're
good. Hold on,
gonna
wait.
promote me.
Say this again, because I want to write this one down, because I am a committed, I'm told you I'm working this allyship with myself, allying for the LGBTQI community, as well as my Latino brothers and sister community. And so, wait, tell me again, because I know this was supposed to be mine. Gosh, you're really good at this.
You got to be an ally in diversity,
Mm-hmm.
and in more than just being inclusive. You have got more than having your back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to promote you, and by promote, I don't mean give you a promotion. I mean promote you actively as an equal. There you go. What do we have coming up next?
Oh, okay. Oh, wait, I got notes here too. Oh, next we're talking about segregation. Segregation being counterproductive the word segregation just make me a little wiggly. So I'm really excited.
Doesn't make you twitch as much as it does me.
Well,
talk about a trigger word.
I mean, yeah.
There you go.
This is true. So thank you so much. Look, can you gonna say toodles?
I am.
Okay, cool. So that's our 10 minutes. We got 10 minutes. We're tootling, but we're gonna come back and talk about segregation and it not being counterproductive. And thank you for being my ally.
You too.
We should have a handshake. We can come up with something.
We'll do it.
Handshake and toodles.
Toodles.
Toodles, you said toodles. I'm so proud of you. Look, before you know, you're gonna be a millennial.
Oh, let's not go that far.